Hi, this is Jeremy Moskowitz, Group Policy MVP and founder of PolicyPak Software, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use the PolicyPak DesignStudio to manage your own Firefox plugins. Okay, so PolicyPak has the ability to turn off slash disable existing plugins in Firefox, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So to get started here, let's take a look at Firefox. So if we go to the Add-ons tab in Firefox, you can see I've got a variety pack of plugins. Now, as of this recording, PolicyPak can only manage plugins. It cannot manage extensions. It can only manage plugins. So coming soon to a theater near you, we will be doing extensions as well. But right now, we can only do plugins. So with that in mind, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 2 or 3 of these guys by creating a new pack. And then this pack that I'm creating for this video, I will call something like the Firefox Plugins Example Pack, and it'll be part available for download inside the customer portal. So that way you can just keep going if you want to, or you can use this video as a source to create your own from scratch, regardless of what plugins you have. So the way I'm going to get started here is I'm going to start a new project in expert mode in the DesignStudio, and what I'm going to do next is set the project properties, and I'll call this Mozilla Firefox Plugins Example. Okay, and the type that we want here is actually the Mozilla specific config file, and the default is correct, which is app data Mozilla Firefox profiles INI, and then you should put in the application as well, Mozilla Firefox. That dialog box helps us understand which application, because Mozilla actually makes a wide variety of applications, not just Firefox, but these directions are specific for Firefox. I'm going to not enable the item level targeting here, which is to say that what we produce here today should work for all versions of Firefox, even really old ones to really new ones. There's no reason to sort of lock this down such that it'll only work for a particular version. So I'm going to leave it just like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a checkbox in here, and I'll call this checkbox, maybe I'll just do the Adobe Acrobat 10.1. Okay, so I'll call this, a double click here, I'll call this checkbox Adobe Acrobat 10.1. There we go. Let's call it plugins. Plugins. Check on for on. Check off for off. So there we go. So that way we kind of know what we're doing here. All right. So right now, okay, this guy is on. So because he is on, we want to make, well, we kind of don't care about the default or the revert state. That's okay. So we'll go ahead, we'll right click, we'll go to the configuration wizard, and we'll just buzz right through it. So in a specific config file, which is Mozilla here, we'll go ahead and read that. We're reading the Mozilla file, and now it's saying, what's the current state? Well, we're saying check on for on, check off for off. So the current state is in fact on. So this guy, just to prove a point, he's actually on. You'd see the word disabled if it was off. So it's currently on. And now it's saying, go turn it off. Fine. So let's go ahead and turn it off by setting not activate, and you see where it says disabled now. Let's just go ahead and close Firefox and really make sure that that thing is really set in a config file, and click next. And now we have to look around a little bit and see what we can find here. And we're looking for, well, there we go. It's a little hard to see, but you can see it says PDF, and you can see it's plugin state. So all these guys, you're looking for the ones that say plugin state. And we're going to do this 2 or 3 times, so it's really obvious. So if you get lost, you're looking for the changes that happened in Firefox for plugin state. Okay, so you can see that before the capture it didn't exist, and after the capture it's 0. So we'll go ahead and click next. Now we don't know what the on value is. It's currently undefined, so we're going to try to trap that as well and figure that out. So we're going to say now go and turn it back on. Okay, so let's go ahead and rerun Firefox here. And now let's go back to add-ons, plugins, and here it is. It's disabled, and now we want to make it enabled. Okay, so now we're making it re-enabled. We're going to close out Firefox, really make sure that thing is set in the file, and click next. And once again, if you can't find it there it is, plugin state. So you're looking for the one that changed. And again, if you don't make 2 changes at once, you want to do 1 at a time. So this is np PDF, okay? And you can see before the capture was 0 and after the capture is 1. So if you want to make it unchecked, it's going to set 0, and you want to make it checked, it's going to set 1. And there we go. So 0 and 1, and we'll click next. And the default state for this guy was on. That's totally fine. And the revert state is on as well. And we'll go ahead and click boom, finish. And that's it. That's how you do. That's basically how we do it. And you can see plugin state.nn PDF. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, just so we've got a couple of examples here. So let me go back to add-ons, and this time I'll do Java 7.7.0.5.10. Okay, so I'm going to create a new checkbox here. I'll move it down here. I'll call this Java 7.0.5.10 plugin check on for on, check off for off, just to make it super clear. Okay, we'll right click, we'll go to the configuration wizard, we'll go ahead and say next, 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 and the current state of this guy, well, he's on. Okay, so we're going to check because we're saying that it's on, and then we're going to turn it off. So we're going to go to the I guess I'm really specifying the Java deployment toolkit. So I guess I'll make an update to the name here. I'll then say never activate. It's now disabled. I'll close out Firefox here, and we're looking for the change. And yep, there it is, plugin state. And you can see it's np deploy Java. It was 0 or was nothing, and now it's 0. And now let's go ahead and try to capture the on value here. And we'll go ahead and rerun Firefox. And we'll go back to add-ins. And now we want to say activate. Okay, and it changed from not activated to activated. And we'll go ahead and close out Firefox and click next, and boom. There we go. So now we're looking for the, oh, there it is, plugin state guy. Excellent. Here we go. We found it. And we'll click next, 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 boom. Okay, so like I said, I kind of let me clean up the name of that guy because that is pretty specific. So if I go to add-ons, okay, Java deployment toolkit, Java toolkit. Whoops. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do this Java platform guy. Okay, so Java platform 7U51. So let's do that. So if I check this guy and I call him Java platform 7U51. Whoops, 7U51. Check on for on. Check off for off. Okay, right click over this guy, configuration wizard. This will be the last one I go through here. Next, next, next. So it's currently on, right? You can see it doesn't say disabled, so it must be on. Check on for on. Okay, now we're going to go and check it off by setting to never activate. Okay, so now it's set to disabled. Close out Firefox. Click next, and we're looking for plugin state. There it is, and that's this guy. All right. And you can see it had a different value. And now, well, let's, just to be on the safe side, why don't we recapture on? Okay, because the other ones were 0 and 1. This one started off life as 2. Just to be on the safe side, we'll go ahead and recapture on. So now we'll go ahead and rerun it and turn it back on. We'll go to add-ons, and we'll go ahead and always activate. So I think the difference is between ask to activate and always activate. So we'll go ahead and click that. We'll close that guy out. I'm pretty sure it's going to change to 1. And plug it. Oh, no, it's not. It's 2. All right, good to know. Good. All right, well, it worked as we expected, so there we go. So that's the whole point, is that capturing it really helps you know exactly what's going on underneath the hood. Once you've got your pack here, I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'll save this as Firefox plugins example. Okay, Firefox plugin example here. All right, and this will be available in the inside the customer portal for you to download. So what you're going to do next is simply go to compilation and go ahead and compile it. And at this point, out pops the pack. Okay, so the pack is created. I'm now on my management station. I've moved the pack into the central store and I'm ready to test. Before I do, let's go back over to Firefox and let's just set the stage here. I am just a standard user. I'm just a guy called eSalesUser1. And what I want to do is I want to make sure that this standard user if they have this plugin, we want it to not activate. We want it to deactivate it. Or if they have something that isn't activated, maybe we want them to activate it. So just to prove a point, I'll close out Firefox and just show you that when you reopen it, it's still disabled, okay, or deactivated. These other two guys, we want to deactivate them. All right, so that's the lash up here. So we'll go over to our eSales desktops here. eSales desktops. And Firefox and Java packs are best when deployed on the computer side. So I'm going to manage Firefox plugins. Okay, and then I'll right click and click edit here. I'll dive down under computer side, PolicyPak applications, and go to new application and pick the Firefox plugins example. Now, remember, on my target machine, Acrobat Reader was, well, disabled. We want to enable it. That means we want to check on for on, right? So when PolicyPak has an underline and a check mark, that means we're going to be delivering check mark. For these other two guys, for the Java Deployment Toolkit and the Java Platform, maybe we want to uncheck them. Okay, we want to deliver uncheck, which is to say check off for off. Now, at this point, we also have another superpower, which is we can right-click over these guys and lock down this setting using the system-wide config file. And maybe I'll do that for both of these guys. So if the user wants to, they can work around the Acrobat plugin, but we want to make sure they can't work around the two Java plugins. All right? So I'm locking those guys down. So I'll go ahead, I'll click OK here. I'll go back to my target machine. I'll run GP update, and we'll wait for group policy to refresh. And now that that's done, let's go over to Firefox again and see the results. We'll go over to add-ins, and boom. So remember, Acrobat was manually disabled by the user. It got popped back to active, and the two Java guys that were active were now set to disabled. And because we're using system-wide lockdown, even if a user tries to activate it, it doesn't actually work. Doesn't let them do that. Okay, so I hope that gives you what you need in order to manage your plugins using Firefox. Thanks so much. And if you have questions about this, do post to the community forums. You can do this in either the Design Studio section or to the pre-configured pack section. But since we don't know what plugins you have, we're obviously not making a pack for every plugin on the planet. That's why we give you the Design Studio. Thanks so very much, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.